Chapter 1. When the world stopped working. I don't know when it started. Maybe it was when the ground first opened into a crater after an explosion with no cause, or when the raindrops began to fall like silver needles of aging. Or perhaps it was when the dead stopped staying dead. They called it Death Stranding, but no one truly knew what it meant. One day, the world just broke. The earth sank into fear and silence. People retreated underground, locking themselves in cities, cutting ties with one another. Everything that once connected us was severed. The signals died, the roads disappeared under vines and dust, and those who remained on the surface stopped being human. In that silence, I learned to walk. Not for people, not for glory, but because walking was the only way to forget the world, the touch, the pain. Chapter 2. The Return to the Knot. They called me back to Capital Knot City, the heart of this dying land. The air inside was sterile, clean but dead. They welcomed me with silence, not as a man but a tool. And then I saw her again. Bridget, president of what little remained of the United States, my foster mother. She lay there, translucent skin, unfocused eyes. She took my hand. I didn't want to breathe. I hated being touched my whole life. But now, I couldn't say no. Reconnect America, she whispered. Find Amelie. Finish what I couldn't. And then she died. Her funeral. There were no tears. Her body had to be burned or risk a void out. That was the law of death now. Chapter 3. The one who remained on the beach. Amelie, her daughter. The one meant to succeed her. I saw her, or thought I did. She spoke to me, as if she were there, but she wasn't. She was stuck on the western shore. Not physically, but in some other way. They told me I'd have to cross the continent, connect the colonies, restore the chiral network, and at the end, find her. Only you can do it, Sam, she said, and even though I never admitted it, I wanted to believe her. Chapter 4. First Steps. I had a pack, some supplies, and BB, Bridge Baby, a tiny child in a pod, connected to the world of the dead. At first, it was just another piece of equipment. I didn't know children, didn't want to. But this one, something began to grow. Before I could stop it, the path west was unforgiving. Timefall reigned like a curse, aging everything it touched, rusting steel and bone. The BTs, ghostly echoes of the dead, moved without sound. Only when I held my breath did I feel them near. But I kept walking, through mud, through silence, with a backpack heavy as guilt. Chapter 5. The woman named Fragile. She found me the first time I fell. Standing in the rain, the timefall didn't seem to hurt her. Fragile. She wore her name like a joke. When I came to, she offered me food, dried meat. We shared a shelter in silence. I noticed then, her body was scarred, burned, everything but her face. The timefall did that. Someone did it to her. But still, she walked on. Like me, she didn't save me, but she helped me stand. That was enough. Chapter 6. Cities that forgot how to speak. The colonies I visited were buried, silent. People didn't show themselves, just hands behind glass. Data, signatures. But when I connected the signal, when the screen flickered to life, something in them stirred. They began to wonder, who was the one delivering the package? Who walks when everyone else hides? Chapter 7. The Masked Voice. Another delivery. Another city swallowed in hush. But this time the silence felt manufactured. Then I heard him, a voice from static, coming from a smile that didn't seem human. Sam, how long do you think this world will last? He appeared like a phantom. A mask covered his face, but his eyes were disturbingly calm. Higgs. There was something in him that pierced me, not because of what he said, but how. The world is meant to break, he said. You want to piece it back together? But what if we don't deserve to be saved? Behind him, the BTs began to rise. Massive, black, like oil given form. Animalistic, watching with dead eyes. And I thought, maybe this man was more than just madness. I couldn't stop him. Only his message remained, the West awaits you. And at the end, Amelie. When you see her again, ask her who she really is. Chapter 8. The Child Who Heard Me. That night, I sheltered beneath an ancient bunker. Rain crackled on the roof. I sat, BB's pod in my lap. Sometimes, though I'd never admit it, I whispered to him. Software like a prayer. I don't know why I'm carrying you, but maybe you're the only one who doesn't look away. His tiny eyes flickered. Maybe just feedback, or something more. That night, I dreamed. A hospital, a delivery room, a woman screaming, a man holding a glass pod like it was the last thing worth saving. When I woke, BB bubbled softly. I don't know why, but I finally said it. Lou. And from that day, he wasn't just it anymore. Chapter 9. The Wire in Her Heart. The next research colony was different. She met me at the door. White coat, dark hair tied back, hands dirty with dust and work. They call me Mama, she said without smiling. Her lab was strange. She didn't study weapons. She studied behavior connections. In the corner hovered a baby, a BT. She's mine, Mama said. Born when the hospital collapsed. She didn't survive, but she stayed. She showed me the cord. A umbilical, ghostly but real, still linking them. She won't leave, and maybe I don't want her to. It was a moment, quiet, heavy, like grief growing roots in reality. She knew it couldn't last, but she couldn't let go. When her lab was attacked, when the fire began, she severed the cord herself. Thank you for making me see. I didn't say a word. I just held Lou tighter. Chapter 10th. The Grey Zone. There was one area no one dared enter, a former war zone. Time didn't behave there, and when I entered, the world shifted. Suddenly I was in trenches. Bullets, mud, screams from throats long dead, and he was there. Cliff, a man in uniform, searching, yelling, not for Sam. I'm taking you back, Lou. He was the father, BB's father. Did it make sense? Number, but in his eyes, there was pain. Eel. Chapter 11. A heart that beats every 21 minutes. After that war, I felt heavier. Not in body, in soul. I carried more than cargo now. Cliff's eyes haunted me. And Lou was restless. He dreamed. And when a BB dreams, it means something. My next path led to a man who lived with death. Heartman. His name matched the device in his chest, restarting his heart every 21 minutes. He died, on purpose, for 3 minutes at a time, to search the beach, looking for his wife and child, who died in a void out. He never found them. His home was calm, films, music, but no bed. Only a couch. He watched me as I entered. You're looking for Amelie, he said. Yes. But what if she doesn't want to be found? That question hit harder than I cared to admit. Was I really trying to save someone? Or was I hoping she would save me? We completed the final link of the network. Digitally, America lived again. But no one cheered because Amelie was still gone. Chapter 12. When the world stops breathing. The western edge was empty. Edge Knot City, the final stop. But it was dead, and yet I felt her. Then Higgs returned. Same smile, same eyes. It's almost over, Sam. You feel it, don't you? The sky split. The time fall turned to energy. BTs rose, giant, merging into terrifying shapes. Amelie isn't human. She's an extinction entity. She brings the end of ages. And I am her prophet. But I was no longer just a courier. I fought him, with fists, with fury. Because in this world, fights weren't about strength. They were about will. And mine was stronger. He fell, and only she remained. Chapter 13. The beach. I stood by the sea, in a place that was everywhere and nowhere. The beach. Everyone has one. Their place between life and death. But Amelie had them all. She stood before me, dressed in white. I'm not human, she said softly, but I'm not a monster either. I was made to end humanity. She showed me visions. 5 extinctions. Trilobites, dinosaurs, ammonites, mammoths, icemen. Each time, something erased an age, and she was meant to be the 6th. But she didn't want to, not after seeing the world through me, the connections, the courage, the love for a child who wasn't mine, but became my world. I don't want the world to end, she whispered. But she couldn't decide alone. She needed me. Chapter 14. The choice. I could have left, let extinction come as it always had, or I could stay, not let her press the button that didn't exist. So I did the only thing I knew how to do. I sat next to her and waited. Long. I don't know how long, but then she moved. All right, she said, and the world didn't end. Chapter 15. Return. I came back, changed. The network was live. People spoke again. Some even built. Couriers like me weren't just necessity, we were symbols. But they wanted to destroy Lou. Bridge babies were shut down, unstable, dangerous. But I knew Lou wasn't a tool, not after all we'd survived. I stood at the incinerator, held the pod, saw her eyes, and made a choice. I opened it, for the first time, and looked inside. Lou breathed, and the world, though still half broken, started breathing too.